One of the most prominent brands of products within the multicultural category that Sally Beauty sells is sold under the name Silk Elements. It is a varied line of product. You will see the lineup of products is much broader than you have seen so far. Here's an example of that. It's a broad array of products. It consists of approximately 70 different products, and it's been sold and extensively advertised for nearly a decade, and it accounts for about $26 million in annual sales. One of the significant trends in the multicultural market over the past several years has been the growth of products targeted to women with curly hair who want to wear their hair natural. As Mr. Parker said, that just means wearing it in its naturally curly state and not straightened using chemical relaxers, straighteners, or appliances. Within that group, there's a subgroup of mixed-race women who, because of their unique curl patterns, have often found that products that are traditionally in multicultural categories, which are traditionally aimed for African American consumers, those products don't really fit their unique hair needs. And the products in the general market aisle are typically aimed at Caucasians. Those products typically don't really meet their hair needs either. Therefore, a demand existed in the marketplace for products targeted to mixed-race customers. Sally Beauty did not have any products that were targeted to that market niche, and it tries to carry products that are targeted to all the various market demands that exist in the marketplace. Therefore, 3 Sally Beauty employees, Susan Walker, Renee Reynolds, and Britt Truong, started work approximately 5 years ago on a line of private label products that would target this mixed-race consumer market and that would be sold under the Sally Beauty Silk Elements line of products. Ms. Reynolds, who you will hear from at trial, is the director of the multicultural category. Ms. Truong is a former Sally Beauty employee who recently left the company to follow her husband to San Francisco where he got a new job, but she was the brand manager for the multicultural category at the time. In addition to developing its own product, Sally Beauty also decided to execute on a strategy of carrying national brand names, just as it does with other products in the category, to offer its consumers choice. And so to meet this new market demand, it was going to create its own private label product that ended up as the mixed soap product. It was also going to carry national name brands. There are some consumers who like private label, and there's some who don't. There's some who want to buy the national name brand. Sally Beauty wanted to capture both those consumers and give them a choice. Accordingly, they reached out to Mixed Chicks to see if Mixed Chicks would be interested in selling their product to Sally Beauty. They were not interested in doing so at the time because of the return policies of Sally Beauty. And Sally Beauty said, fine. If they didn't want to sell the product, that's fine. But Sally Beauty did not reach out to them significantly because they wouldn't have come out with their own private label if Mixed Chicks had sold the product to them. Sally Beauty was going to come up with its own private label product anyway. This was the beginning of the execution of the strategy, and since then, Sally Beauty has added a significant number of national name brand products in this category. Sally Beauty, in addition to carrying its own private label mixed silk product, also offers products like As I Am, Curls Unleashed, and it most recently added a product called Shea Moisture, which you'll see in this case, which is one of the top 2 or 3 selling brands in this market. Sally Beauty, when it was nearing the finalization of the development of the mixed soap product, reached out to Mixed Chicks again, and you'll hear that in this case, I'm sure. And they reached out to Mixed Chicks one more time to see if Mixed Chicks would be interested in selling the product to them, and Mixed Chicks was still not interested in selling the product. And again, that's fine. It's their product, and it's their prerogative as to what retailers are sold through. Sally Beauty thinks it's a quality product and would be more than happy to carry it. What you will also hear is, even though Sally Beauty has its mixed soap product line, it would carry the Mixed Chicks products today. Now, I'm guessing because we're all here, there's probably not a lot of interest by Mixed Chicks in actually selling their product to Sally Beauty, but Sally Beauty would carry it if Mixed Chicks was interested in doing that. Now, I said a minute ago that Ms. Walker, Ms. Reynolds, and Ms. Truong, about 5 years ago, started the development of a product in this area. And what they did at the time, they didn't really know much anything about this market niche. It was new. They had very little information on it. They didn't start out to create a product that would be a compare-to product to mixed chicks. They started out just by trying to learn about the market need, the market demand, and the kind of product that they thought would be a successful product in this marketplace. And so they began by reading product reviews and by testing products. And they tested a variety of different products, including Ms. Jessie's and Carol's Daughter, a couple of other products that were out in the marketplace that were designed for women with curly hair. And they tested the Mixed Chicks product. They decided that they liked the performance of the Mixed Chicks products the best, and so they decided that they would, that their private label would be a compare-to product that would compare to the Mixed Chicks brand. And that process took about 2 years because it took a while to do the investigation and testing, and each of the folks involved on the development team had other projects on their plate. The formal development of the mixed silk product really began in 2009. And the process started by Sally Beauty hiring a contract manufacturer out of Chicago named RNA to make the product for it. RNA was tasked with coming up for the formula for the product, and they were told, we want to make a product that's comparable to the Mixed Chicks product in performance. Now, one of the things that's significant that you understand in this case doesn't have anything at all to do with the formulas of the products. There's no claim in this case that Sally Beauty has copied the formula of the Mixed Chicks products or that it even had access to it. This is not about the theft of trade secrets. This is not about patent infringement. This is about the trade dress of the products, which is the look of the products, the scent, the texture, or the color of the products, and the mark Mixed Silk that Sally Beauty adopted for its products. Ms. Truong decided that he had a contract manufacturer lined up. I said she didn't have input into the formulas, but she did have input into a couple of things. She had input into the fragrance of the product, and she had input into the color of the products. And you will hear that Ms. Truong did pick yellow for the color of the leave-in conditioner because the Mixed Chicks product was yellow. And she did that just like the Equate product uses blue and red to indicate that it's a compare-to product to the Selsun Blue product, but she did it because she wanted to communicate that this product was a compare-to alternative. However, what you will see, and you will see by the products in front of you, Ms. Truong did not pick the same colors. She picked as the Mixed Chicks products for the shampoo. She picked a yellow color for the shampoo, whereas the Mixed Chicks product is an orange. She picked white for the deep conditioner product because that's a common color. Deep conditioners are commonly a white color in the marketplace. Now, with regard to the fragrance, with all due respect to Mixed Chicks, the Sally development team didn't like the fragrance of the Mixed Chicks products, and so they decided to pick a different fragrance. And it's a fragrance that they picked because they believed it was distinctive and unique, and it was a scent that the development team liked. These products will go out with you at the end of the case, and you'll get a chance to smell them, and you can decide for yourselves what you think of that issue. Now, with that, Sally Beauty had a product. So the next step in the development life cycle of this product was to come up with a name. Sally Beauty wanted the product name to include the term mixed because mixed is descriptive of the target audience of this product. Ms. Walker was the person who suggested the name for the product, and she liked that name because it included the descriptive term mix, which targeted this particular audience, but it also included the term silk to tie into the Silk Elements line. And significantly, Mixed Chicks does not have exclusive rights to the term mixed. That is a term that's descriptive, and Sally Beauty is using it for that purpose, and you will see and hear that there are other products on the market that also use the term mixed in their names. Now, Sally Beauty, after it selected the name, and it selected the name in August of 2009, filed for registration with the United States Patent and Trademark Office for the Mixed Silk mark. And despite the fact that the Mixed Chicks mark was already registered, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office granted registration to the Mixed Silk mark. This registration is valid and in existence today. Now, you saw Mr. Parker highlight a couple of documents that showed things like our Mixed Chicks. Well, there are a couple of documents like that from early August of 2009, where a couple of people on the development team referred to this product along those lines. But there's a simple reason for that. They hadn't picked the name of the product yet. They needed a shorthand reference to talk to other people where everyone else would understand what they were talking about, and so that they could communicate that this is the compare-to product that we are developing. What you will see is that a couple of days after that email that Mr. Parker mentioned, the mixed silk mark was adopted, and after that, Sally Beauty did not either internally or externally refer to this product as our mixed chicks or anything like that. It had a name. It had no reason any longer to use those shorthand references. Now, so Sally Beauty picked the mixed silk name, but there are a number of other elements of branding that Sally Beauty picked for their mixed silk product to make the product unique in the marketplace. One of those is that they came up with a unique slogan. They came up with the slogan, "Natural curls for natural girls." That slogan is used on the label of every single one of the products. It is also used in advertising for the product. See, here it appears in the advertising. The reason that slogan was adopted is to brand this product with a distinct identity and to make it stand out in the marketplace, to make it be distinguishable from other products in the marketplace. To Sally Beauty's knowledge, no one else in the marketplace has any slogan like that, and significantly Mixed Chicks doesn't either. Now, you may remember that you saw some ads at the outset, and you may remember it ended at the very end with a still image with a slogan by Mixed Chicks. The Mixed Chicks slogan is "A Curly Revolution" versus "Natural Curls for Natural Girls." Last thing I'll point out on this is you'll note that there are no models on this ad. All right, so now we've got a name and we've got a tagline. The next step in the development process is to pick the containers that the products are going to go in. The Mixed Chicks shampoo and leave-in conditioner are sold in a 10-ounce size and in a 1-liter or 33-ounce size. That 1-liter size is also referred to in the industry as back bar. The reason it's referred to as back bar is that size is designed so that salon professionals can use it at the wash bowl in the stores, and the product sits on the bar behind the wash bowl where the product can be squeezed out, and the salon professionals can use it to wash or condition their customers' hair. That size is primarily intended for use by salon professionals. It is purchased also by retail customers, but its principal intent is for salon professionals. Sizes smaller than 18 ounces, such as the Mixed Chicks 10-ounce product, are generally referred to as retail sizes and are designed not for use by salon professionals because they're too small. They're designed for use by consumers at home who don't need as much product or won't go through it as quickly. When Sally Beauty set out to create the mixed silk products, it was designing its product not against the 1-liter size. It was designing a retail size product, and so it was designing its product against the 10-ounce size. The 10-ounce size of the Mixed Chicks product, as you can see, has square sides and sort of a rectangular footprint to it. It's got kind of a flask-type style to it. Sally Beauty didn't like the look of that. Sally Beauty was looking for a container shape that they thought would be more feminine in appearance. So what they picked is what's known in the industry as a Boston round bottle. It's a cylindrical bottle with rounded shoulders. Boston round bottles like this you will see are, Boston round bottles in general, are one of the most common types of bottle shapes that are used in the hair care and beauty care industry. And you will see examples during this case of Sally Beauty using Boston round bottles in its Silk Elements line. And one of the reasons that a Boston round was chosen for this product is because Boston round bottles like this are also were already used in the Silk Elements product line. Now, another important reason that Sally Beauty picked a Boston round bottle, and the particular Boston round bottle that they did, is it's a stock bottle. What that means is that particular shape bottle is not custom made for them, and so it's less expensive. What you will also hear in this case is that the shapes of the Mixed Chicks bottles, those particular containers, are also stock bottles and therefore are not containers that they own exclusive rights in. But by buying a stock bottle, Sally Beauty saves money. That has two benefits, frankly. It enables them to make a little more money on the product, but it also, because their acquisition costs are lower, allows them to sell the product at a lower cost. Finally, Sally Beauty chose a 16-ounce size for its leave-in and shampoo products because that's a standard size for Sally Beauty retail size products in the Silk Elements line. And here's a picture. You'll see there's a 1 liter size on the right. This particular product does have a back bar size, but the retail size is on the left, and that's a 16-ounce size. Another reason for picking a 16-ounce size as opposed to the 10-ounce size that Mixed Chicks has is that by picking a bigger size, Sally Beauty is able to offer consumers a better value. Now, one of the things that you're going to see in this case as you take a look at these bottles, and so I'm going to take an aside here for just a minute to explain to you, is that I've been referring to these bottles as 16-ounce bottles, and you're going to look at the label. It's going to say on the label 17.25 ounces, and you can try to figure out why I'm calling it a 16-ounce bottle. Well, it's a 16-ounce bottle, but because it's frosted, you can see through it. These particular bottle types get filled to the top so that it just looks better. It's called a cosmetic fill. So you've actually got 17.25 ounces of product in what is referred to as a 16-ounce bottle. So the Sally Beauty Mixed Silk product actually contains 7.25 more ounces in its retail size than does the Mixed Silk product. Now, the bottle that Sally Beauty chose has stiff sides to it. It's what's referred to in the industry as a PETE bottle, and although I've been living with this case for a little while, I realized last night when I was rehearsing my opening that I really don't know what that means. It's an acronym for something. I probably couldn't repeat it if I did. But PETE bottles have relatively stiff sides. That contrasts to the other products that are Boston Round bottles that are used in the Silk Elements line. Those are made out of a different material. Those are made out of a material called HDPE. That material is softer, so you can squeeze it and easily get the product out of the bottle. So you can use a flip cap with that. You don't need a pump. The stiffer sides, though, on the bottle that Sally Beauty chose for the Mixed Silk leave-in and shampoo can indent when you squeeze it, and it's not as easy to get the product out by squeezing it. So Sally Beauty added a pump to the product. But it added the pump solely for functional reasons, just to help consumers get the product out of the bottle. And as you see on the slide I have up, the Mixed Chicks product has a flip cap versus the pump on the Sally Beauty product. For its deep conditioner, Sally Beauty chose what is actually a translucent jar. It looks white because the product's white, but as you deplete the product, you can see through it. It's got a translucent cap on it as well. It picked this shaped container because deep conditioners are often thick, and so having a wide mouth container is useful for consumers to help them scoop the product out. You will see evidence in this case that white containers are very common in the industry for use in connection with hair care, skin care, and other beauty care products. This is also a stock bottle that Sally Beauty also bought again because it saves money and enables them to offer consumers the product at a lower price and therefore better value to consumers. The bottle that the Mixed Chicks product is in is also a stock bottle. Now, we got the container done, so now we got to come up with a label to put on the container. And we got to come up with a logo for the mark to put on the container. And so Sally Beauty hired a third-party designer named Dawn Watkins to create the logo. And Ms. Watkins at the time was an independent designer. She later went to work for Sally Beauty. She's since left Sally Beauty. She recently had a child, and she's now a stay-at-home mom. But Ms. Watkins, as I said, was hired to design that logo, and her goal was to come up with a logo and a label that were unique in appearance that did not look like the label on the Mixed Chicks products. She did not like that look of the label, and she didn't like the very simple look on the Mixed Chicks logo and label, which doesn't have any design elements. She wanted to have a graphic design element on her logo, and so you'll see she came up with a logo that has a strand of hair design in the middle of it, which forms the eye. Now, Mr. Parker pointed out that Mixed is bigger. There's a reason for that. Most of the products in the Silk Elements line are aimed at African American consumers. This was the first product in that lineup that was aimed at mixed race consumers. Sally Beauty wanted mixed to stand out on the product so that consumers walking down the aisle would see that product and understand immediately that this is a product that's targeted to their unique hair needs, and intentionally to make it stand out from the rest of the Silk Elements line. Silk Elements is put smaller and below the logo because they wanted the predominant message on this product to be that this was a product intended for mixed race consumers and their unique hair need. Now, and this is how the mixed silk logo that Dawn Watkins designed compares to the Mixed Chicks logo. Now, although the Silk Elements mark is smaller than the Mixed Silk mark in the logo for the Mixed Silk products, it is in boldface, and there's not any intent, as Mr. Parker implied, to hide that. In fact, these products are prominently promoted in almost every ad with the Silk Elements mark bigger and bolder than the Mixed Silk mark. Here's some ads you will see. Silk Elements, and you'll see down here, Silk Elements is a much bigger typeface than Mixed Silk. There's another ad, and you'll see a series of ads like this throughout the trial where it's not just that Silk Elements is bigger than the Mixed Silk mark. You'll also see, as in this ad, that the Mixed Silk products are advertised as a part of the Silk Elements lineup with a number of other Silk Elements products, the idea being to clearly communicate that these products are part of the Silk Elements line, the line that sells annually $26 million and is unique to Sally Beauty. In addition to designing the logo that we just talked about, Ms. Watkins also designed the label. And for the label, she also wanted this to look unique. You can see on the Mixed Chicks products that there's a lot of words on the front of their product. There's a lot of text that describes the features and benefits of their products. Again, with all due respect to Mixed Chicks and their product, Ms. Watkins didn't like that. She wanted to have a product that looked different. She didn't want to include all that text, and so she didn't. So the label that she created consists of the Mixed Silk logo, and then the generic name of the product, in this case Gentle Cleansing Shampoo, highlighted within an orange bar that doesn't show up on the Mixed Chicks products. That was another way to make the products look different. Now, in terms of color, Sally Beauty chose orange as the predominant color for all of its products, and it's uniform across all three of its products. That's different than the Mixed Chicks products and intentionally different. The color used on the shampoo is a brown, the color on the leave-in is a green, and the color on the deep conditioner is an orange. But significantly, that orange color is different. It's a burnt orange or darker orange used on the Mixed Silk products, and the differences in the labels otherwise apply to these deep conditioners as well. Now, I mentioned a minute ago that the logo and the presentation of the Silk Elements mark were designed to look different from the rest of the Silk Elements line. That same theme carries over to the overall look of these products. Mr. Parker is right. These products don't have a similar identical look to other products in the line, although, as you've seen already, the products in the line have a very varied look. But Sally Beauty did want the Mixed Silk products to look different from the rest of the line, again, because they wanted it to stand out. They wanted it to look different so that consumers would understand that this is a different product in the line, that they would see the Mixed Silk mark, and that they would self-identify with this because this is clearly a product for mixed-race consumers. Another reason to want it to stand out is that most of the Silk Elements line of products is designed for African-American women. Again, I told you this earlier, but this is the first product in the line. That was another reason they wanted it to stand out so consumers could quickly find it. Now, with regard to the 33-ounce size or the back bar size of the Mixed Chicks products, as I said earlier, Sally Beauty was not designing its Mixed Silk products to be competitive to those products. It wasn't creating a size to be used by salon professionals. It was creating a size to be used at home by consumers. And in fact, what you'll hear is the Sally Beauty team, when it was designing its product, didn't even know that Mixed Chicks had the bigger 1 liter size. It wasn't designing against that. It was designing against the smaller size and ended up with a very different bottle and a very different set of logo and graphic elements on it. Now that Sally Beauty had a product done, you need to come up with the price. And with regard to the price of the product, it may be hard for you to see here, but the everyday price for the mixed silk products is $7.99, and they often advertise it for sale. You saw an ad earlier where it was on sale for $4.99. That compares to the manufacturer's suggested retail price for the Mixed Chicks product, which is much higher. For the leave-in conditioner, the manufacturer's suggested retail price is $20. If you break it down on a per ounce size, the Sally Beauty Mixed Silk product is 46 cents per ounce. The Mixed Chicks product in a 10-ounce size, a much smaller size, its price per ounce is $2. $2 versus 46 cents per ounce. Now, with regard to the back bar size of the Mixed Chicks products, the price disparity is even more significant. Again, $7.99 for the Mixed Silk products. The manufacturer's suggested retail price for the Mixed Chicks leave-in conditioner is $50. Now, when Sally Beauty launched the product, it first introduced the products to the stores in January 2011, but its formal launch of the product was in February 2011. And as Mr. Parker said, that launch included Compare to Mixed Chicks in the advertising. And here's an example of one of those ads with the Compare to Mixed Chicks language. This language was designed to communicate to consumers as this product was being introduced to the market that this product is not Mixed Chicks, but if you like Mixed Chicks, give this a try. You might like it and you might save some money. This Compare to language was included in approximately 9 million pieces of launch advertising. Now, in addition to selling these products through its stores, Sally Beauty also sells the product through its website at sallybeauty.com. Richard Ben Bassett is the head of Sally Beauty's e-commerce group, and in that role, he's responsible for the sallybeauty.com website and for creating pages, setting up pages on the website for each of those products. In early 2011, Mr. Ben Bassett created a web page for the 3 new Mixed Silk products. But one of the things that's important to understand as it relates to the website development is that Mr. Ben Bassett, when he set up the product pages, and this is what the product page looks like for the leave-in conditioner, he did not have any involvement at all in selecting the name Mixed Silk, which had been chosen 2 years before that. He did not have any involvement at all in the design of the product packaging or the labeling or the look of the product. His only role, once the product was done, to set it up on the website. And he did that. He created pages that would highlight the features and benefits of these products and communicate that these products are part of the Silk Elements product line. And so he repeated that in multiple places on the website to make sure that that message wasn't lost. So the first reference to the product, Silk Elements Mixed Silk. Below that, Mixed Silk by Silk Elements. A little further down, Silk Elements Mixed Silk Leave-In Conditioner. And then down below with some more details about the product, Silk Elements Mixed Silk product. When Mr. Ben Bassett set up the pages on the line, he also set up what are known as page keywords. Page keywords tie into a search engine that's on the Sally Beauty website. And like most retailers, the Sally Beauty website has a search box where you can enter search terms to try to find products on the site. It's enabled to facilitate consumers finding the products that they're looking for. He used a variety of different terms that you'll hear for page keywords. One of them was deep conditioner, another gentle cleansing shampoo, the generic names of these products. He also used Silk Elements. He also used Mixed Silk, and for a very short period of time, he used Mixed Chicks. And the reason that he did that is because these products, as you have seen when they launched, were being promoted as compared to Mixed Chicks. He saw that in a proof for one of the email ads that was going to go out to promote the line, and so he put Mixed Chicks in, again, for a short period of time as a search term, as a part of the launch, or at the time of the launch, so that, and the reason he did it was because since the ad said compare to Mixed Chicks, he anticipated that some consumers might come to the website and either type in compare to Mixed Chicks or Mixed Chicks looking for this product. And they might not remember the name Mixed Silk because it's a brand new product, but they might remember having seen compare to Mixed Chicks. That was only on the website for a very short period of time, and to Sally Beauty's knowledge, there was no consumer who entered Mixed Chicks and got to this web page and mistakenly believed that this product was Mixed Chicks. And what you'll see when you see these web pages is there's not a single reference to Mixed Chicks on any of these pages, but what there is this repeated use of Silk Elements Mixed Silk. Now, although Sally Beauty tried to carry or approached Mixed Chicks about carrying the Mixed Chicks products, and Mixed Chicks declined to do so, their sales have nevertheless continued to grow. And they've grown aggressively, and more than a year after Sally Beauty started selling the Mixed Silk line of products, the Mixed Chicks products were introduced in Target. Those products are now available in Target nationwide, and you can also buy their products off the website. So Mixed Chicks is thus continuing its expansion despite the presence in the marketplace of the Mixed Silk products. Sally Beauty has now sold through nearly 2 years and through all 2,500 of its stores, more than $3 million of the product. It's engaged in significant advertising and promotion of the products, examples of which you will see. Yet, it's unaware of any instances of consumer confusion between the products. But to get affirmative evidence about whether confusion was likely or not, to get some scientific evidence on that point, for this litigation, Sally Beauty hired a survey expert, and a noted national survey expert named Philip Johnson, to conduct a survey, an objective study, to determine whether confusion really is in fact likely between the parties' products. Mr. Johnson is the CEO of Leo J. Shapiro and Associates in Chicago. He has done litigation surveys and market research studies for more than 40 years. He conducted his survey in an objective manner that was not designed to reach a result that would favor either party, and he used a widely accepted survey format known as the Ever-Ready format. Mr. Johnson's survey revealed a nearly non-existent level of confusion at 0.3%. And based on this study, you will hear Mr. Johnson will testify that it's his opinion that there is no likelihood of confusion in this case between the parties' products. Now, Mixed Chicks, as you heard Mr. Parker say, has also retained a survey expert, Dr. Jacob Jacoby, but his survey was not done using the Ever-Ready format. He used a different survey that led survey respondents through what he refers to as an online excursion. And through this online excursion, he found higher levels of confusion than Mr. Johnson did. But Mr. Johnson has reviewed Mr. Jacoby's survey, and you will hear him testify that he has concluded that Dr. Jacoby's study was not done using an appropriate survey methodology because his online excursion does not replicate the real-world marketplace. Mr. Johnson will therefore offer his opinion that Dr. Jacoby's survey was flawed and that the results are therefore unreliable. In addition to survey evidence, Sally Beauty will offer evidence from some other experts. We will have a damages expert who will testify to the issue of damages in this case. And we will also offer testimony from Ms. Tadra Mitchell-Jackson, who is an expert in the marketing of hair care products to multicultural consumers. Ms. Jackson will testify regarding the level of care that consumers take in making decisions regarding these products, the importance of these products, and the sophistication of the consumers. She will also testify about fragrances and viscosities in the marketplace for different kinds of products, and these products in particular, and the presence of other products in the marketplace that use Boston round bottles, white jars, and yellow colors for their products. On the yellow color, a point I neglected to mention earlier is that although Sally Beauty used a yellow color because the Mixed Chicks color is yellow, Mixed Chicks does not have exclusive rights over the color yellow, nor are they claiming that in this case. Mixed Chicks, as you heard Judge Guilford say before we started jury selection, bears the burden in this case of establishing its claims by a preponderance of the evidence. When all the evidence from both sides is in the record, And I believe that what you will hear, again, is that this case is about full and fair competition. Sally Beauty will ask you at that time to enter a verdict in its favor and find that Sally Beauty has engaged in fair competition through the sale of its mixed silk products, and that Mixed Chicks has not met its burden of establishing by a preponderance of the evidence that Sally Beauty is liable to Mixed Chicks on any of its claims. Thank you.
On schedule. Thank you, counsel. Thank you for staying over a little bit longer today. That concludes our work for today. Again, I welcome you to the jury. I appreciate your service. Remember the rules. Keep an open mind. Don't be doing any research, and don't discuss the case with anyone else. We'll see you to begin tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, counsel, thank you very much. Hair care product, 2 women on the jury. Always interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So who's going to lead the way? You both did a very good job on opening statement. Professional, straightforward, a lot of information, well supported by visuals. I appreciate all of that. And right now it is the plaintiff at 1 hour and 2 minutes and the defense at 1 hour and 5 minutes. Okay?
22 that we have total, Your Honor?
I'd have to look at the minute order.
No, what you said in the order, that's fine. I think it's 22.
22.
22 and a half.
Okay.
2 and a half, you said?
It-
Whatever's in
it's
the order, Your Honor.
I looked at it when I came out this morning, but there you have it. I think that's about right. Yep. Okay, good. See you tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Here it is.
When she gets back.
22 hours. Exactly. Right, 22 each. Oh, wait a minute. Are we all here? I'm sorry to burden you with something else, but it's something I do on the first day of trial after opening statement. On the way out, counsel will raise the issue of settlement between the two of you. Just raise it and bring it up, talk about it, and then do what you like. But just bring it up, okay? Thanks.
Well.
Yes, it's perfect. Thank you.